What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Today will be an eventful one. We're doing 3 shows in a row. Now, we ain't doing 3 hours in a row. Now, we're going to do some 30, 40-minute shows. But we're preparing for our great break August 23rd through December 3rd. So I hope you get a chance to get all this good information. And if you're inside my courses, for those inside the courses, you already know we have some surprise dates where I will pop in and talk to you. But if you haven't, August 19th and 20th, Austin, Texas, boat party. Come on through. We saw people buy some tickets today. I don't know. Thank you. I shall see you there. The food is going to be banging. The next day on the bus and on the boat will be banging. Okay. Uh, October 13th through 15th, Panama. Lit. Don't miss it. If you can go, go. If I were you, because when we go back to Panama and then we go back to Belize, the price is going to be up. The price is not yesterday's price. So you're going to want to get on that first trip. September 10th and 11th will be in Clearwater, Florida for Andy Buys Houses Boot Camp. Y'all, we traveling. We busy. We closing out things. And speaking of closing out things, Detroit, you read the title. I already told Agent them I was going to do this title. I told him before I left. Listen, Detroit is a zombie, baby. Now, 4 cities you can never argue with people and not almost break your neck: Chicago, Detroit, LA, New York. Black people from them places will fight you, stab you, punch you in your face if you talk bad about those 4 cities, even though their families are there and struggling. If you can hear me and see me, put a 1 in the comments and drop your city and state in the comments because I want to make sure you can hear me, baby. As Eric Youngblood said in the chat, what it do though? And the problem is just that. It's a zombie. Now, let's be very clear. If you've been on this channel, you've watched me enough, you know what zombie means. There are zombie businesses in America. About 20% of all businesses in America are zombie businesses. Now, what does that mean? They make money every month, but they don't have enough money to either do new operations or new investments or advertising and marketing or change position. Toys R Us was making millions, millions in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I think $700 million or something a year. But their debt repayment was so high they had to go out of business. You dig what I'm saying? So again, there's 20% of businesses in America since they did the reporting in 2020 were zombie businesses. So of course they were glad for y'all to sit at home and still work 40, 50 hours a week, and they didn't have to pay the light bill at the building. They didn't have to pay extra internet at the building. They didn't have to do excess at the building because you were at your house doing it. You dig what I'm saying? So, what is a zombie, and how can a state be a zombie for the future? Now, there's a great video I put in the community wall called "The Unrecession," and the guy was just talking about how in China, overseas, different places, the age is old. It's old. The age is old. They're in their 40s and 50s. They're already going boomer time. And I told you in America, 20% of all white people in America are 65 years old or older. The youth in America is Hispanic and Latino and Asian. So, okay. If you know that, you know how demographics move. When I've been telling y'all the past 4 years that every city in the Midwest, what they will be doing for the next 50 years is retrofitting the city for a smaller population. Now, if you go downtown Detroit, it is beautiful. They've thrown billions of dollars into downtown Detroit. The stadiums, the Lions Stadium, the Tigers, Detroit Tigers. I may be saying it wrong. I apologize. Those stadiums down there, they even taken the whole what's the black man, Joe Louis? They taken his name off one of them stadiums, Little Caesars, all that stuff. That stuff is changing. They put a lot of money into that place. But here's the problem. It's a zombie city. Most of the people that are behind are running scavenger businesses, right? I had a person, we left one property manager that was doing sketchy, went to another property manager that they were doing sketchy. We went to another property manager. And long and the story short, they were like, yeah, there's squatters here. We're going to pay them to get them out. I'm not paying no squatters to get them out. Again, I'm not paying a squatter $1,000 to get out, right? And so when we go to the properties, we see them, there's nobody there. Nobody's in there. The bug man went there, nobody was in there. There's a lot of culture there that is trick them if you can trick them. If y'all know what that means, if you know what that means, I'm gonna break it a little back down here. Trick them if you can trick them is actually an Asian term. Go look this up. When it comes to business in America versus America with China, America with Japan, America with other South Asian countries, they had a rule of thumb: trick them if you can trick them. Okay, in every language in Japan and different phrases, but that basically what the phrase was: trick them if you can trick them. And that unfortunately is in Detroit. Trick them if you can trick them, right? Whether it's property management, property preservation, boarding up houses. I had a company that we paid $2,000 for to go board up houses, and they said, "Oh, one of the properties had roaches in them, so we not gonna do this." I said, "Y'all not boarding up $1 million houses. Y'all not boarding up, homes ready to sell on the market." Even funnier, somebody told me, "Yeah, they just came over my property yesterday, and my property is wide open." What are they talking about? These companies are doing bare minimum work in an environment where the city requires bare minimum. Now, let me put that back. The people in the city require bare minimum, but the state requires a lot. Now, Gretchen, I went to CPAC. That'll be a part of the latest show tonight. I'll talk about that. There was a lady who's a contestant against her. Okay. She gonna win. I'm gonna tell you why she gonna win. You had over $1 billion leave Detroit and go into Ohio. Let me say that again. You had over $1 billion in construction and contractors and outside investment go over to Columbus, Ohio, go over to different parts of Ohio because they could not, well, Detroit would not, and most of Michigan would not enforce property rights. The governor they had made sure it was that way. And also, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to go political right now. I'm going to go keep it normal. But I want you to understand this. Elections matter. A lot of people say, "Oh, Erica, the president is rigged and all this other stuff, Donald Trump." But I want to tell you this: the local elections matter. Who's your judge? Who's your sheriff? Who's the guy coming to pull people out the house? That's the people right there. That's who matters. The local election at the local and state level. You have to have the power to enforce people and get them out. A lot of people say, "What about black boys? What about the black people of Detroit?" The majority of people that are healthy, happy, and going on by their business, they left or they live in the suburbs. The people that are still there, they've been voting Democrat for over 40 years, actually closer to 70 years. I talked to Detroit people that say at some point we're going to have a Republican and they're going to come in here and turn all this upside down. The union has lost its power. I said, "I know it's coming, but do you have the power to wait for that?" I don't. So I bought 4 properties in Detroit with partners. And I want to describe to you that we first purchased on a street that the home was one of many homes that are bad. We tried to pitch to the land bank, "Hey, can we buy these other homes so that the whole street improves at the same time?" Well, no, somebody else came through and bought all 5 of those other homes from the land bank for very cheap, repaired them, and now our house and another house are the odd man out, which leads to children. Because trust me, I was on the street. It was at least 37 kids outside at one time. I said, good googly. What is this, a group home over here? What's going on? Vandalism. Kids are bored. Kids are running around. Vandalism. House catches on fire. Please get there. I don't know how it got on fire. It's the middle of the summer. Homeless people don't burn nothing in the middle of the summer in the house. That's the winter time. We look for fires in the winter because homeless people be cold. So this kind of looks like vandalism. But we're going to give you your police report. We're going to ask you, is this insurance fraud? Now, I'm in a whole nother state. I just get here. And the house is nice and crispy. And it's smoking. How was I going to do that from the plane? Now, I know there's people doing vandalism that way, getting insurance fraud that way. But I assure you, sir, that's not what's happening right now. I'm trying to figure out who going to come fix this and what's going to happen with my insurance. So, when people say, "Well, Erica, you bought homes in terrible areas," that's not true. I made a joke last video or 2 videos ago and I said shit homes. And people are like, "Oh, see, she bought crappy homes and crappy places." Whenever I go in a room and I tell people the name of the streets of the houses, they're like, "Hey, what do you want that for? I'll buy that from you right now. How much you selling it for? I'll buy it from you. What you want? You want retail price?" So I know the homes aren't shit homes, and I know the homes aren't in bad areas. One, especially if you cross the street, you go over to the white side, a little bit more whiter over there, a little more gentrification over there. And so The one lady was like, "Oh, I can sell these off market." I said, "No, what you're trying to do is make me sell them for less than retail. No, I want you to put them on the MLS, list them for the highest price possible, and let them beat us down, batter us down on prices. It's the summertime, things are selling." She didn't like that answer. She disappeared on me. I said, "Okay, cool, no problem. I'll go call 25 of the other black realtors out here and let them put it on the MLS." Because see, there's this nature of like, let's trick them if we can trick them, right? let's see if we can let's see if we can kind of slide under the radar and badger this person down to a low price, right? Let's see if we can see if we can trick them. And there's that culture, right? Now we were talking to people at the event. Mixer Asia did an amazing job. More people turned out than ever. She had a bunch of white people in there. I was like, okay, girl, watch out. You're gonna cross over now, right? And the numbers are beautiful. If you can magically get a house for 20 to 40,000 and get $850 to $900 rent for the rest of your life, wonderful. Wonderful. But the majority of the way you're gonna get that is Section 8. I've told people this before. I said the only way I would ever, knowing what I know now, and if I had to, invest in Detroit would be downtown. Would be actually downtown. Would be like the 2 mile radius of downtown. Why? Because you have young people who are they don't want to drive a car, they don't want to own a car, they want to walk to the Whole Foods, they want to be downtown in the city with the lights, they want to be cool. CNBC just did a good one on a lady who bought a condo. She bought 2 condos in a building. You can see that one on Detroit, overlooking the water. It's beautiful. But that would be the only place I'd say would be worth it, where if you're not in town and there's a game, people will come in town. Prime example, the hotels were going for $400 a night. I said, in Detroit? What's going on? Oh, there's a country music concert and there's sports all going around. So they're milking the people, right? Because let's be honest. If you live out 40 minutes outside of Detroit, 30 minutes outside of Detroit in a suburb, you're not going to a baseball game, drinking all day, then drink downtown and try to go home. That's not happening. They love the DUI out there. They going to arrest you, baby. So the people have to do what? They have to stay in a hotel. They have to stay downtown, or they have to stay in an Airbnb, and they have to stay downtown. So the police are making sure downtown, is better than the rest of what you're seeing, right? One time we booked, I think it was Kendra Barnes and Kiera. We were somewhere and they booked an Airbnb and we went over there and I said, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. This is in the middle of the hood. It was Corktown, I think, but it was before Corktown is even better than it is right now. I was like, I need a hotel. Get me up out of here. And what people don't understand is there's timing the market. No one can time it, right? If you invest somewhere, you have to say, I'm going to really be willing to invest here for 10 years. I could not say that with a straight face. I'm willing to pour millions of dollars into Texas. I'm willing to pour millions of dollars into Florida, parts of Florida, not all Florida, some parts it's rough. I'm willing to pour money in Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm willing to pour money even into Arizona because of its closeness to California and people are escaping California. I'm not willing to be the king of the scavenger land. I'm just not. There's no, like, you can flip a house in Detroit and make more money than you could holding it for long term. I remember I was talking to somebody, they're like, well, yeah, you just got to hold it for 10 years. It'll balance out. Y'all, you can't, if you have 100 properties and 20 aren't performing, no problem. If you got 50 properties and 10 or 20 are not performing, still no problem. You got 10 properties and half ain't performing, that ain't, honey, I can't do that. If you got 4 properties and 3 out of 4 ain't performing, oh my, oh good googly moogly. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. The city and the state want you to rehab these properties to their former 1920s, 30s glory, right? That ain't happening. Again, I want you to understand what I'm saying. Detroit, Cleveland, most Midwest cities for the rest of the next 50 years will be, okay, we'll be retrofitting those cities for the next 50 years. So let me tell you how you make money off this. If you a man, that's the thing I did appreciate about Detroit. Majority of black men you meet in Detroit have some type of technical skill. Now there's some hoodlums, but most of the people have technical skill. They know how to fix something. They know how to repair, wire. If you look in Dallas, a majority of the Detroit people there in Dallas that have relocated, they are in construction. You see some of the Detroit people in Houston, they are in construction. You see some of the Detroit people in Atlanta, Georgia, they are in construction and real estate. Right? When you talk to people who live in Detroit and you go, hey, why you don't? If the properties were only 10K, why y'all only got one property? And you from here? Okay. Again, I was in Panama talking to 10 different Detroit real estate agents. Why don't y'all own any property in your own state? Go on now. Well, Erica, they're just short term. They're just trying to flip money, sell houses. They're trying to make fast money. This is true. But if you're telling me and you're selling me on how great your city is recovering and reviving, why aren't you investing in your own state? You guys already know the answer. They don't want to deal with their own people. They don't. They much rather be like, nah, let me just sell this and keep it moving. Right? Now, listen, if you have a great outreach to Israelis, Brazilians, Italians, Swiss, again, what I've taught y'all and told y'all about family offices still remains true. Family offices are buying homes in bulk in many of these places. They're buying homes in bulk. They're buying all kind of stuff in bulk. Why? Because they know you need somewhere to live. And if you actually look at the IRS stats, 88% of people live within 1 hour of their mother. So I'm just going to say this, just not trying to be funny. If you ever get caught and the IRS is looking for you, they're going to look 1 hour from your mama house because they know you don't go far. You dig? That's just FBI data knowledge stuff that I was like, that's interesting. But trust me, they've studied that for a reason. You dig what I'm saying? They've studied that for a reason. Gotta have a plan, okay? So look, my thoughts on Detroit is if the closer to the heart, the better, right? Because if we have a zombie, we take the heart out of it, it's still moving around. I mean, the limbs are still moving, the feet are kind of moving, the head's kind of moving, but really what was close, what functions the most is right around the heart. So Detroit, I consider it, it's a heart of something. I mean, the interstate, the transportation, the logistics, they have to keep going through there. Why? Because the Canada factories moved across the way, right? Someone asked, what are the property taxes like? $1,000 a year, 1,500, which is ridiculous to be honest. Same thing in Cleveland. They were like $2,000 a year almost for one of my properties. I was like, this property, I bought it for 50, we got it for 50, 60, once we put all the money in it, 30, got it for 30, basically bought it for 30, put 30 more into it. And you're telling me I got to pay 2,000 a year on it? These are zombie cities. Y'all. And, again, like I said, if you run into a New Yorker, somebody from LA, somebody from, or California in general, New York, California, Detroit, or Chicago, they'll beat you up. You talk bad about their city, they will beat you up. Do you know what I'm saying? See, even Tara Jones right now. Well, 2 hours away in Grand Rapids, Michigan, we're thriving. Yeah, sure. Tech is in all those places. They relocated those companies. It's nice. But you can talk to somebody who's 30 minutes from Detroit and they'll be like, well, I live in a nice area. There's something they used to say that drives me crazy. Kira said it for Baltimore and Asian them say it for Detroit. Well, it's block by block. It's block by block. Well, if you have kids or you have nieces or nephews that drive a bicycle, they pedal for blocks. So I can't have 80% of the blocks be dangerous. I can't have 80% of the blocks be bad. Right? You can't have that. You can't have 8 blocks in a row be dangerous and then one be great. Again, listen, y'all, I'm not trying to be funny. I've been to the suburbs. I was in Detroit and I was in the suburbs. There's a big thing black people guys go, well, were you in Detroit or the suburbs? It's like saying, this is you, y'all from the same mama, and this is your brother. You're like, well, that's my brother. But me, I'm good. Sir, you're from the same mama. I don't care. Well, I'm in the suburbs. Suburbs are okay. No, they're not. You still have the same lack of property rights in the suburbs of Detroit that you have in Detroit. There is this kind of I mean, again, thank you, Ray Gunn. Ray Gunn, the downtown is amazing. There's been billions of dollars poured into the downtown of Detroit. So if you say, again, referencing a zombie, the heart, The heart, if you said that where the heart is and there's still movement, not the brain, but the heart, yeah, sure. In the heart of downtown, amazing. I walked a whole mile on accident because Asia was like, "Oh, it's just around the corner," and I walking a whole damn mile. That Fitbit was ringing, y'all. And sure, downtown, I felt relatively safe. Wasn't bothered by too many homeless people. There's been many places converted to condos. There's even condos around the corner from where Asia lives that are going for like $500,000. Again, but again, they're like literally a stone's throw from a casino. They're a stone's throw from the wealthiest parts of Detroit. The police come over there quick where she at. Okay, like they're a stone's throw uh from a extremely wealthy neighborhood. Try not to give her address or anything away, but like a street, like I could walk a block and be in the wealthiest neighborhoods of Detroit from where Asia lives. So of course they're like, yeah, yeah, it's good, it's magical. Look at we tore down a bunch of houses and converted it to a park. Look how beautiful this is. But if you driving down that road, you driving some places. You dig? You driving around. Good googly moogly. There's neighborhood after neighborhood. There's street after street. There's building after building. I literally was going to turn the camera on and just record this street I was driving on. And people be like, oh, it's not that bad over there. Again, it's this mentality. Well, my house okay. My house fine. Indian village, yeah. Like my house is good. And this is the Titanic, right? Where the part of the ship is going under the water and you still on the deck. Like, what's wrong? My part is dry. What's the problem? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to understand that's not how it works. Like, they're still trying to figure out where these children gonna go to school at because half the schools are closed. You dig what I'm saying? I want y'all to really understand. Like, you got people in Michigan, like, we're doing pretty good. And okay, in your city in Michigan is doing good, but the heart of your state, when people think Michigan, they don't go, man, that Grand Rapids. They think Detroit. They go Detroit, right? And this is something I want y'all to understand. United States, in my head, I knew the United States was bankrupt, which it still is, but there's a whole nother story about that. We're a zombie country, but there's a whole nother story on that one. When I looked at Hurricane Katrina, I said we're the wealthiest country in the world, and we can't figure out how to get all these people up out of there and get them back home in like a few months. You still got parts of Katrina that's looking terrible. You got the Congress and the government allotted $250,000 per man, woman, and child that were there, and them people still got tarps on their roof. Y'all, have you ever been to New Orleans? I'm talking about within the last year or two. They still got tarps on roofs. It's tarp city over there. And roofs are like, when they small houses are 3 to 4 grand. These aren't, see, you're talking about certain cities that are small houses. Roofs are 3 to 4 grand in Detroit. 3 to 4 grand. Now, the bigger the house, the bigger, yeah, you're talking about 10, 20 grand. But these small, regular little cookie color worker houses, 3 to 4 grand. And people got tarps all over the city. They got payment plans. Come on, man. John said, do I think Cleveland is better? Thank you for the super chat. Yes, Cleveland enforces property rights. Somebody in your house and they don't pay, they're going to get up out of there. But that's when I knew, when I saw what was happening to New Orleans, I said, they can't, they don't even know what to do. They're shipping these people out. And then the people get to the next city and go, please don't send me back to New Orleans. They stay. And then they work extremely hard. Now, there is a series of New Orleans folks. Me and Tim Jackson talked about this other day on his podcast. There's a bunch of New Orleans folks that live in really bad spots of Houston, Texas. Still poor 11 years later. Like when the storm just came to Houston, was it 2 years ago? Anybody in Houston in the chat? I think it was 2 years ago, or was it 3? When Harvey came. How long ago was it when Harvey came? Please, somebody tell me in the chat how long ago it was. They literally, when news reporters were talking to people, I got flooded out of my house. And they go, oh my God. Oh, that's so terrible. Where are you from? 2017. Okay, Harvey. You go, I'm from New Orleans, but I've been living in here since Hurricane Katrina. So you've been here since Hurricane Katrina, and you live on a terrible side of town that floods in bad shotgun houses in Houston. What happened? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? They pulled you out of a terrible part of America, United States, not America, but because America is north and south. United States. They put you in Houston. They put you in Houston, and you still live in some of the worst housing in America that floods. And they were talking to me like, "Don't you got a car?" No, we don't got a car. You've been here in Houston 10 plus years and you don't got no car. I want you to understand how I want you to understand how bad some folks are. So when I go to Detroit and I have experienced scavenger business tactics done on me, what I've realized is I cannot be angry at a person who is surviving. Let me say that again. I cannot be angry at a person who is surviving. I cannot ask a person who is surviving to act like they have some sense. Personal transportation in Houston, Texas is a must. And after 10 years, you don't have any personal transportation, there's a problem. I don't know if you mentally are challenged, if you have physical disabilities. That's not normal. Can everybody hear me and see me? Put a one in the comments. Someone said there's no audio. Refresh your screen. Listen, somebody said, how the hell are you growing in Houston without a car? Wait, from New Orleans, moved to Houston and still don't have a car 10 years later. Bro could have stayed in New Orleans and caught the RTA. That's my whole point. There you go. Dr. Virginia said sometimes surviving is all they can do. And this is why I'll talk about it later on the InvestFest side. When I talk about InvestFest, I went to go with the open mind because I knew some people are like, yeah, it's a scam. Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam, Erica. Everything's bad. Oh, everybody's scamming. And I realized, no, you're the guy who's living in a house with no car, but you go on the laptop and computer every day, finding everything but an opportunity to get out of your situation. Exactly. LG said mid mindset. Some Detroit residents have no car, but we make it. Again, there's a difference in thriving in a city, growing in a city, and surviving. I was driving down the road and there was a series of kids trying to cross this road. Now, if y'all know anything about Detroit traffic, they drive 90 miles an hour and they angry. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get there. Milestone. Listen, Milestone, that's your computer. Everybody else is seeing this. Everybody else is hearing it. They're putting a one in the comments. Get off your Metro PCS phone. Get off that Metro PCS phone. Everybody else can hear it. Okay? Cut it out. Now, refresh your screen. Okay? Let me see here. We go up. I live outside of Seattle in the boonies. If you have no car, day to day is challenging. This is facts. Have you heard of the Detroit Canal District? I've been here most of my life and never knew we had a Venice here. Valdez Brown, that area is going to sink into the ground. But go check it out while you can. 90 and a 45. And so I see these children getting ready to walk across the street. And I said, oh, Jesus, I'm just looking for them. I went into mom brain. Oh, my God, look at those children. Are they okay? Can they get across the street? And then I had to realize these children are from Detroit, honey. If anybody going to get across the street, these children going to get across this street. And they did. While I was at the stoplight, I'm like, good gracious. Run, baby, run. I'm just like, run. You run across 4 lanes, run. Because black people going to jaywalk, even if it's at the risk of their life, they going to jaywalk, okay? Black people going to jaywalk at the risk of their life. Okay? So seeing the city, knowing people are in survival brain, I'd come to the city, right? I come to the city. I tell the property manager, I'm coming to the city today. I get off the plane at 3. So that means I'm driving straight to your office. I will be there at 4 because y'all driving 90 miles an hour. So will I. I get there. They ain't there. They not there. Oh, I thought you was going to call us before you get there. I sent you an email. I called you the morning. I called you when I got off the plane. I told you I was coming. I get to your office. Nobody's there. What else do y'all have to do in Detroit? You need to be at your office working because ain't nothing else popping over here. You need to be in the office. All hands on deck. Okay. So when I realized you're dealing with people who it's all good at my house, this is a mentality. Well, my house is fine. This happens often in the black community too. Well, my mom and daddy is together, so I don't care about your mom and daddy. What about your children? Who's your children going to interact with? Who are you going to interact with? Come on, man. Stop acting like, well, my house is good, my street is good, I'm good. That's not. If 85% of your city is scavengers, the 15% hustling hard and doing miracle work, that's great and all, but that's the city, right? So you can't get mad at people for surviving. You can't get mad at people for wanting to stay where their parents are born, where they're from, where they're comfortable. I even had a guy there. He said he's lived 10 years in Atlanta, then moved back to Detroit. I said, why'd you leave Atlanta? Well, my parents are up here. It's pretty nice. I never think about it. When I see a vacant house, I don't even think about it. There's a thing. I don't know if you ever guys seen the show Hoarders. You ever seen the show Hoarders? Put a one in the comments if you ever seen the show Hoarders. The people live like that so long they don't know it's wrong. Like, you ever see Hoarders and they married to somebody, and I'm like, wait a minute, you her whole husband sleeping in this house, in this dirty, nasty house. Dirty, nasty house. Making children in this dirty, nasty house. And got the nerve when the cameraman get there to me, I'm ready to leave. What, you ready to leave now? Why you ready to leave now? Where you going? What are you talking about? You've been living like this. You're used to it. It's dirty. It's not. You're used to it. And that's Detroit. Oh man, I see vacant houses all the time. I don't think nothing about it. I just keep on going by my day. It's situational blindness, right? There you go. Stacey said 600-pound life. 600-pound life. I don't know how I got this weight. I don't even know. It's crazy. So if you get up every day and it's just normal for you to see vacant, abandoned houses, there's a whole thing called I think it's called broken window theory. Anybody in the chat, Google it real quick for me. Broken window theory. It's a theory about more broken windows you see, the more crime. The more vandalized buildings you see, the more crime, because people start to feel like that's okay and that's normal. It's a big problem in our community. And when you ask people, why you sell grandma house? Now, if they in Detroit and they sell grandma house, I ain't gonna get on that bed. I'm just telling you, I get you. Jar said, damn near every street in Detroit has a vacant house, or it will be one of the houses. The rest of the houses are abandoned. And people get mad, Erica, that's not true anymore. It's different now. I am telling you this, and I stand by this. The city of Detroit should be paying people to take those homes. They should give you $1. Like, they're like the land bank's like, we're gonna make sure you repair this house to the standard. To the standard of what? Half the city's gutted. Half the neighborhoods are gutted. Come on. Get out of here with this mess. So again, they won't enforce your property rights. They won't they won't kick people out in a timely manner. The police aren't even responding to crime. I don't know if you hasn't read the news lately. They ain't even responding to crime. They're like, we don't have time. We don't have enough manpower. Right? Thank you guys for posting in the chat. Broken window theory is the theory, the concept that each problem that goes unattended in a given environment affects people's attitude toward the environment and leads to more problems. Thank you so much, everybody who's put it in there. Okay, this is true. Now, there you go, Sherlock. Sherlock Holmes is spot on. Listen. So instead of these people going, man, look at this abandoned house that I can get from $1 or $1,000, and even Asia was showing multiple cases of them just buying houses from people who left 10 years ago, since 2008. And they've been giving them like, hey, you want 5,000 for this house? Oh yeah, take it. I'm good. Glad. Take it away from me. Take it off my hands. I could care less. Give them 5,000 and buy the house off of them, because they've already started their life somewhere else. They've already gone to another city to be productive. Okay. Now listen, let's give it a little balance. I'm gonna give it a little bit of balance. Could you be a broker person that's looking to gain experience in real estate and go into some areas like Detroit and buy up multiple properties? Yes. You can do this. Todd Millie's done it, but Todd Millie's also lost $50,000 at least 3 times, giving it to contractors who ran off with his money. And you can see this from his own stories. He posted himself. You dig what I'm saying? So, yes, can you get cheap real estate? Could you get lucky and get you a Section 8 tenant and the government going to give you that good check? Yeah, baby, you could. Do you have the energy to waste that? Do you have it? What is what on repeat, John? What's repeating? So again, it's a zombie city. It can you can make money off a zombie city, but just remember that Sherlock Holmes, an average Detroit person. I see a vacant house, squat in it till I get that thousand. Yeah, how can I make money off this? That's what Detroiters are saying. How can I make money off this? I can steal all these bricks off, this copper, this what I can go steal all this stuff. That's scavenger thinking. That's scavenger business. Now, let me just be clear. Let me be clear. For the next 50 years while they're doing all the repairs, them same black people will be there. A majority of them will not leave. They will not go. I think Asia has like a 90 something year old aunt that left to go to Florida because her children left to go to Florida. She ain't gonna stay in Detroit by herself. She gone. Peace out. Gone to Florida. She's not even from Detroit. She came when it's heyday, the 50s and 60s, with her other family members from where? The Carolinas. So when people say, "Oh, these people gonna stay here, they ain't never gonna leave," no, some of these people are from the South. They went to Detroit to make a new life. What's his name? Nick Taylor out here on YouTube. He left Detroit many moons ago. His family's still up there. He out here in Texas living a whole life. You have to understand. You have to make a city function. People like me and other people who invest in the city have to be able to get returns. That's all. And we don't really have 10 years to wait. There you go. I have a historic house in Detroit. I got equity of almost 60K. It's in a historic neighborhood. That's good. Contractors don't want to come to work inside Detroit neighborhoods, especially the burned out ones. Yeah. No trash on the ground. People think twice about littering. When trash is all around, there you go. I live in a dead end street. 80% of my neighbors are 65 and older. There you go. I went to the D, filmed, and was amazed at all the vacancies. This was in 2015. I asked around and people acted like it was normal. I looked to buy. They said the wires and appliances will get stolen. Yeah. I'd rather live in a 1-bedroom condo in a nice neighborhood than a 5-bedroom house in a crummy neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah. This is facts. This is facts. I hear you. So this is what I basically had for y'all. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and name neighborhoods. She had a great paper, and I'll see if I can put it on the community wall where it talked about different zip codes and different things going on in neighborhoods. They put money there. They build new factories. They build all kind of stuff. But in my mind, for me, I'm gonna stay southeast. The future is south. I know people hate it, but really, I went to a mastermind, and it was if you, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a little snippet. Look at how Grant Cardone is marketing to HVAC business owners for the next 15, 20 years. They're going to have, I think, like a $7 billion increase in HVAC owners. Like a small mom and pop, they got like 4 or 5 guys that do HVAC repair for them. That's the future because so many people are moving from the Midwest and the North to the South for the cheap housing, for the new life. But it's so hot here. And so repairs, HVAC repairs, all that stuff is going to be through the roof for the next 20 years. So it's just something I want you to hear. I just want to, I just want to tell y'all this. Now you're gonna be like, Erica, you shitting on Detroit. Again, I'm not. I'm not. What I'm doing is just giving my review. You know, hubby says buy your neighbors. Yeah, you got to buy all them houses beside you, right? My biggest thing I want y'all to take away from this is, if you want to invest in Detroit, you have to be right downtown, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Like there's no other option. Or as they claim, go to the suburbs. Y'all, I saw the suburbs. I saw them. I've been all in them. They drove me around them multiple times. I've been to Detroit maybe I think 32 times. Or it feels like 32. I think I go at least 5 times a year every year for the past 4 years. Y'all. Okay. Y'all. Okay. So let me read this and then I'm gonna wrap this up. But I really want you guys to join me at 6 o'clock. And I want you guys to join me at 7:25 tonight. Put it in your calendars. Make sure you hit the notifications. I will be talking about Invest Fest and how it absolutely blew my mind. At 6 o'clock, 6:05, I will be talking about CPAC at 7:25. And I think what's funny is how I was going to make a comment about Trump, and now, of course, with the news, I can still make the comment. Let me go ahead and read this. American cities are Ponzi schemes because they are car dependent, meaning you need a population to grow to support the infrastructure. Once they lose people like Detroit, 1.5, 1.2 million, they must shrink. Yeah, Philippines for the I'm telling you, there's like if you stay in the Greek casino and you look over, it's a beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. You could see back in the day how this place probably was amazingly beautiful. But then you look and you look, keep looking, and you go, wait, all that's boarded up. All that's boarded up. Millions of dollars. They're building brand new buildings instead of actually fixing some of them old buildings because they want so much historical um, incentives and merits and millions of dollars put in there. There was a brand new apartment building right beside the hotel I was at. I was at the David Whitley building, which was amazing. I mean, thank God they fixed it because it has all this marble. It's called Art Deco. You only places you can see Art Deco are Detroit, Cleveland. Miami falls under the Art Deco, but it's in the 50s. It's not the same 1920s, 1915 where they're using marble. Like rich businessmen were stunting on them hoes. Like, I'm gonna build a whole building. I'm gonna do nothing but granite marble inside, and it's like stunting at levels that will never be seen again. Right? Never. And this is the one part of Detroit I respect them making people save the buildings. But a brand new apartment building was right in the middle. I looked out my window. I'm like, what is this? Full of people living in it. Nice new apartment building. Um, that is that generation of people like, well, I don't want a car and I live downtown. I work from home. Look, there's a bunch of WeWork and communal working spaces that popped up downtown. I'm not gonna sit here and say everything is bad. I will not say that. I will not say that. I will say it's a zombie, but you can make money off zombie businesses. They're every day they're giving loans, the EIDL loan, the PPP loan. What was that? It was money to zombie businesses. It's just the scammers got in there, started trying to mess that thing up. So look, I'd love to keep talking to you guys about Detroit. We'll do more videos on another day. I'll see if Peter can put pictures over this video and I'll re-upload it. But I assure you, a lesson has been greatly learned. You know what I mean? We go where the growth is for easier, less headwinds, right? We're fighting upstream going into Detroit now. Could I've just spent 70, 80K instead of 20, 30K on properties and been in nicer neighborhoods? For sure. But I want to be very clear that people are kind of, oh yeah, you just come over here and do this. No, you need to be immediately downtown. That's it. Only downtown or in a neighborhood that's like literally full of retirees. So um congratulations, your sister bought properties in Gary, Indiana, but Gary, Indiana, 80% of it looks like a hellhole. It's the same as Detroit. It's a zombie city. Gary, Indiana will be retrofitting for the next 50 years as well. So good luck. Congratulations on the property. I respect anybody buying real estate, but I'm just letting you know. It's for you to hold for the next 10, 20 years. That's it. Good luck. Right? So anywhere. This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. See me at 6:05 for the Invest Fest recap, and see me at 7:25 about CPAC and my thoughts on it. So again, thank you guys for being here. You guys have been amazing. I hope you guys enjoy. It's your girl Erica. Later.